It's Imar the Fashion Craze, and today I am back. But today's video, I didn't want to do a makeup tutorial. I didn't want to do something about my hair. I just simply wanted to talk. And one video that I got inspired from watching is Pat's video. Her name is Patricia Bright, and she is like one of my all-time favorite YouTubers here on YouTube, and I will link her channel down below. But she did a video, things I've learned in my 20s. Just like things I learned thus far, because I'm 3 years after being 20, so I'm 23. So it's not much that I feel like, oh, I'm 29 and I'm about to turn 30 and these are the things that I learned like in my 20s. No, so it's going to be things I learned thus far in my 20s. And I hope that you guys all enjoy this video. If you have something in common, if you have an opinion, please comment down below and we'll talk, share like a little community. One thing that I learned in my 20s is if you don't act or communicate what you want, you won't get it at all. And this goes for relationships, this goes for jobs. If you want that raise and you think that your boss is gonna walk up to you and say, Imari, you know, you really earned that, you know, $5 raise or whatever it is in life. If you want something to be done, if you want a raise, if you want your boyfriend to change something about what he's doing and you really don't like it, you need to communicate that. No one in life are mind readers, so I just learned that in your 20s, if you want to change, you must communicate about it. Another thing that I learned in my 20s is sacrifice your spending. Oh my god, I remember when I was younger, not even younger, about 2 years ago, I wasn't working a job that gave me a decent amount of money that I felt like, okay, I did deserve to go and spend this amount of money on shopping or whatever. So when I was younger, I used to take like $100 out of my paycheck, and I would $100 plus, and say, you know what, I worked hard, I deserved it. But then I noticed at the end of the week, like my bank account was like almost down to nothing. Basically, after doing all that shopping at the end of the week and seeing my bank account go down to almost nothing, it's kind of like, really, what do you have at the end of the day? It's like you're working to basically shop, and that's not good. So now I notice that just save money when you aren't saving towards anything. It is an amazing feeling when you have money in your bank account and you don't have to say, okay, I'm gonna wait for my next paycheck. Saving money gives you options, and options make you happy. I swear, money supports happiness, and I just feel that if you have the money saved and you have more money saved, and it's not like your last penny, and you can go out and buy that nice jacket, you can go out and buy that nice TV. It is a great feeling. Another thing that I learned in my 20s is it is okay to be uncomfortable. I look back and I realize that some of my most uncomfortable moments brought out the most greatest me. Because, for example, I went to FIT, which is mostly a Caucasian school. Most of the students there are like Caucasian, and I just felt like once I moved in, because I moved in the city and I dormed over there. So I dormed with people that I wasn't used to growing up with. I was used to like hanging out with people of my own kind, and you know, it was really hard for me to fit in. It was really hard for me to just deal with, okay, Mari, like you're now the only black one in this class, or you're the only black one at this job. And I just feel like it made me so much stronger. And now I have friends from all walks of life. I have friends that are Asian, I have friends that are Caucasian, I have friends that are Mexican, and it just makes me stronger and it makes me wiser because I get to hang out with different people who aren't like me, and that's the best thing that you can ever have. So being uncomfortable is totally fine. I feel like if you're too comfortable, it doesn't promote growth. Being uncomfortable does promote growth. It makes you stronger, it makes you wiser, so it is okay. Another thing that I know in my 20s that I've learned is it's a difference between support and it's a difference between being a superhero or trying to be a superhero. You cannot change people. You can only support them. You cannot sit there and try to be Superwoman to try to help people, especially when you have your own life going on in your 20s. So that's definitely one thing I learned. Another thing that I learned in my 20s is you time is so important. I remember when I graduated from FIT, and I also filmed this, but I told you guys I took a trip all by myself to London. I did not go with anyone. I stayed for 7 days and I had a great time. It was a lot of, you know, time on my hands, so I did like self-reflect, and I learned a lot more about myself. I feel like if you have a little bit of you time, it gives you a chance to really really know you and try to get into what you want to be and where you want to be and be focused on you. Another thing that I learned in my 20s is learn how to cook. Girl, if you want a man, you better learn how to cook. No, a lot of people tell me that. My sister says that. Not even saying if you want a man, but like obviously if you have a man that you really care for, you love him, you just definitely, you want to cook him a good meal. So I've been learning how to cook. So learning how to cook in my life is like, you know, trying to perfect the 5 dishes that I do know how to cook. Cooking is definitely something that you get more into in your 20s. Another thing that I learned in my 20s is growing up means growing apart and learning. I noticed that every job that I took after another, it definitely made me learn more, and it was just, I noticed that the previous job I had was just a stepping stone to get where I am now. So that's one thing I definitely learned when it comes career-wise. When it comes to friendships, I learned that, you know, when you grow older, you start to change. So friendships start to end because you are no longer compatible with people. And that's just something that I learned in my 20s, that everything's a learning experience. You grow apart, you learn from, you know, mistakes, you move forward. One other thing that I noticed in my 20s that changed, there are standards for guys. Oh my god, I remember when I was like 15, 14, it just was all about, oh, he's cute, he's cute, he's cute, and we can talk. But no, like when you get in your 20s, I noticed that my standards for guys completely changed. It's definitely not all about looks, it's about personality, it's about how level-headed you are, how ambitious you are, and how, you know, what can I do for you and what can you do for me in exchange to make each other a better person. So that's definitely something that I learned when it comes to guys and standards, and just what you want in your 20s completely changes from when you were like that 15-year-old teenager. One thing that I also learned about friendships while in my 20s, I learned that when you grow apart, it's for a reason. When friendships end, it's definitely maybe because, you know, that person was never meant to be in your life, or 2, you're not compatible with them anymore because you guys are just on totally different pages. I always meet new people, and it's so funny because some of the newer friendships that I have impact me more than people that I've known for like years and years and years. And trust me, I do talk to people that I knew since the 4th grade. I have a couple of friends that I talk to, but some of the newest friends that I met, they really changed me and the way I think. I think that is one of the most important things that I learned while in my 20s. Another thing that I learned in my 20s is life gets cray. Life gets cray. Life gets crazy. No, seriously, it gets crazy. I'm right now working a full-time job in the fashion industry. Sometimes I'm doing like 10-hour days. Sometimes I do 9 and a half. It's like when I'm home, I'm completely exhausted, and I just feel like just having that lack of time, you know what to prioritize and what you can focus on. You don't stress over stupidity because you don't have the time for it. So I just feel like in your 20s is when things start to rapidly change so much. That being said, sleep and naps are heavenly. Oh my god. And my boss said, Imari, take a nap at 12 o'clock and come back at 1 o'clock. I will cry tears of joy. I'm telling you, naps start to be one of like the best things in the world. Lastly, one thing that I learned in my 20s is that you start to become more health conscious. Like when I was 20, I bought my first gym membership at Planet Fitness, and I'm not with them right now because it is way too far for me. I'm just like, no, I canceled it. So I was at Lucille Roberts, and I just canceled that gym membership like 2 weeks ago because I just learned for me what I like to do when it comes to working out is simply dance. So I enjoy dancing way more than like getting on a treadmill or the elliptical. I just like that more. And I also noticed that now I'm becoming more aware of what I'm eating and looking at the ingredients. I'm still trying to work on my diet and things like that, but I think that I'll definitely take it more seriously when I'm on my own, like in my own apartment. I just feel like I definitely want to start eating very healthy. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you're in your 20s, definitely let me know one thing that you learned while in your 20s, and let's see if we have something in common.